Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Susie Kennan, and I'm the Texas PTA president. I want to share with you some exciting news that we know will set our association up for success for years to come. We always want to start with our mission in mind. Texas PTA's mission is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. Today, I want to share our news and explain our why. We'll take a look at the value of PTA and then talk about what it could look like in the future. We know the numbers are important, so we'll dig into those too. Then we'll cover some frequently asked questions. Now we know you're going to have questions, and there is a link on the website to send those to us, so write them down as we go along. The Texas PTA Board of Directors unanimously voted to present a change to our portion of the membership dues of $1.50 at the July 2023 annual meeting. We believe this change to a total of $3.75 will better position the association for the future. Texas PTA is and has been fiscally responsible. As a result, we have not changed our dues since 2009. Approving the change will allow us to pave the road forward, ensuring Texas PTA, as well as your PTA, remains relevant and able to serve Texas's 5.4 million students and families, and to support you in more and better ways. The Board of Directors considered not only the amount needed to sustain current levels of support, but also to provide for future needs. Now, one thing we knew was that everyone would need time to adjust to the change, so this would not go into effect until August 1st, 2024. Over that year, Texas PTA will spend time helping our PTAs make any necessary adjustments to be ready for August 2024. In carrying out its mission, Texas PTA wants to make our volunteers' jobs easier while staying relevant for our members. Now, you may be asking, what exactly does Texas PTA do for me and my PTA? As we've all experienced in the last 3 years, Texas PTA also had to cut costs wherever we could. Our goal was to trim our budget as much as possible without impacting the volunteer support and programming we provide to our PTAs. If you're a PTA in Texas, you are never alone. Your volunteer board of directors and state committees provide multiple layers of support and expertise. Each PTA has a field service representative who has extensive PTA experience and a willingness to help however they can to make your job easier. The board of directors are also just an email or text away. They also help in creative ways, such as with office hours, a Zoom meeting where you get to ask them anything at all. All combined, these volunteer contributions are worth approximately $1,661,868 annually. In addition to our volunteer contributions, state office staff answer the phone at 1-800-TALK-PTA and respond to email Monday through Friday. They ensure you have up-to-the-minute data, relevant and timely turnkey parent programs at no charge, grant opportunities, high-quality training events, and leader resources. A few years ago, we created joinpta.org as a free online way to join PTAs in Texas. Joinpta.org has helped to grow local and state membership to more than 500,000 members after 10+ years of decline. We also created the digital dues upload feature and the digital membership cards. Our partner, MyPTEZ, provides a free membership database for all of our PTAs. We also created a way for all of our leaders to share ideas and support one another through the Facebook group, Texas PTA Idea Share. The secret to a volunteer success is knowing what needs to be done and how to do it. Our Foundations training package does just that. We begin with the Essentials, which covers the history of PTA. Then our Basics series of training offers job-specific training, while our Spotlights training focuses on specific tasks. Each Basics series offers online video training, a resource guide, and a position quick start guide. Several of our trainings have been recorded in Spanish, and all of our position quick start guides have been translated. We are continuing to translate as many materials as possible into Spanish, as well as provide many opportunities throughout the year for additional training through our Lunch and Learns. There is something special about spending 3 days with 2,200 of your best PTA friends to learn, get inspired, and understand you are part of something bigger than you ever imagined. We host the largest PTA training and relationship building conference in the country each summer called Launch. We offer over 75 educational sessions with a full exhibit hall, helping our PTA leaders plan for the coming year. Networking opportunities throughout the conference offer leaders the chance to learn from each other. Celebrating our leaders, educators, and reflections winners adds to the memories created at Launch. We want to make sure you know how much you are appreciated, and we want to give you opportunities to show the same love to the volunteers around you. We offer monthly as well as annual membership awards and volunteer recognition opportunities. Some favorites are the Texas PTA Honorary Life Member and Extended Service Awards. We also offer the Lead Like Marnie Award that recognizes volunteers across the state who are passionate about our mission, welcoming and encouraging to all, and always ready to face a challenge head-on with grit, resilience, and humor. Our Shirley Igo Award recognizes an outstanding collaboration between a PTA organization and school library media center. Our Advocacy Awards honor impactful work advocating for the education, health, and well-being of students and school communities by council PTAs, local PTAs, and student advocates. The newest award, the DEI Impact Award, recognizes PTAs that best demonstrate outstanding achievement in the areas of diversity and inclusion. Finding an easy, relevant program to educate your community and add great value to your membership meetings is just a click away. We developed a series of turnkey parent education programs on timely topics by subject matter experts that are free to our PTAs to use. Yes, our civic engagement camp for high school juniors and seniors went virtual for a time, but is scheduled to make a return to an in-person version very soon. Camp Just Imagine, a visual arts enrichment program designed for students in 3rd through 8th grade to learn about various art techniques, is held in the summer. We host the amazing student arts program Reflections, in which thousands of students participate each year. We also provide student and faculty scholarships for continuing education. We give our leaders and members an opportunity to honor their favorite teacher, principal, or superintendent through the Outstanding Educator of the Year awards. And don't forget our grants. We have grants for clean school buses and healthy lifestyle program grants. If you haven't already listened, make sure you check out our Count of Three podcast, where you can listen, learn, and laugh your way through this crazy thing called parenting. First released in 2021, our extra credit offerings continue to expand. These sessions are quick leadership development, off-the-shelf courses available to you when you need them. Each session offers tips and tricks for all of our PTA leaders to add to their toolkits, and were developed based on feedback received directly from you, our leaders. The lessons and experience that you gain as a volunteer have great value. We've captured the top skills volunteers need to be successful in a self-paced online certification program just for you. Full Circle Leadership is Texas PTA's very own leadership development certification program based on our leadership competencies. Looking at the mission, vision, and values of PTA from all angles, the portrait of a PTA leader was born. Texas PTA leaders are able to enhance their skills to become even more successful and effective. We've been told this program should cost at least $800, and it's available to you free of charge. We have had almost 200 participants finish and become Full Circle leaders. We host Lone Star Leadership Weekend once a year to train and build relationships with our council presidents. We also host monthly council webinars to share important information and create networking opportunities for these leaders. This allows us to ensure that PTA leaders who are a part of a council, which are the majority of our PTAs, have another line of support. Now, for our leaders who are not part of a council, we offer additional support with our regular Independent Connection webinars. Texas PTA hosts Rally Day at the Capitol during the legislative session. Close to 2,000 leaders and students come to our educational caucuses, the rally on the Capitol steps, and then have meetings with their legislators to discuss the issues important to Texas PTA members. During the interim, we host straight talks at the Capitol that focus on topics that are timely and relevant to our members. These are live streamed for everyone to watch, and our councils host watch parties in their own communities. During the session, we weigh in on over 1,200 bills and testify on our top priorities. You help us be heard by responding to our action alerts, and our Under the Dome newsletter keeps you informed. We close out the session by honoring legislators who were truly champions for children. And if that wasn't enough, we also offer many member benefits with discounts on travel and events, which translate into real cash savings. You might be thinking, that all sounds great. So how exactly will a change in Texas PTA's dues help? The board of directors spent some time over the last 2 years envisioning what we could do if we weren't limited by our current budget and hampered by the necessary cuts made over the past years. The board determined 5 areas where we'd like to grow. We then spent time with our state level committee members and council presidents and asked them what they would like to see in our future within those same 5 areas. If money were no object, of course. The next few slides will show the results of that work, the hopes we have for our future, a wish list of possibilities. Texas PTA will increase its investment in leaders. While we mentioned the variety of leader training courses that Texas PTA already offers, we are committed to growing leaders, both personally and professionally. We will continue our investment in our leaders by offering new training at 0 cost. Here you can see the wish list of items that fall under 3 categories: an investment in training by expanding our offerings for all leaders, an investment in our local PTAs with increased scholarships and grants, and an investment in our council PTAs with increased capacity at their signature training event, Lone Star Leadership Weekend. Texas PTA will amplify our legislative voice. Texas PTA champions public education, and now more than ever, public education is under attack, which requires our advocates to have an even more thunderous voice. We will continue to increase our impact through grassroots public testimony, developing advocacy-related events, and strengthening relationships with lawmakers. In addition, you see here a wish for increasing the size of Rally Day, additional resources for building local networks, and more opportunities to connect, to build relationships and learn. Our leaders would also like to see our Yes and Straight Talk programs expanded. Texas PTA will broaden parent education and family engagement efforts. As we mentioned earlier, Texas PTA offers many free parent education and family engagement programs. Through these programs, we want to champion the student benefits of active and engaged families. We will continue to promote and expand family engagement efforts statewide and on campuses. Here are the 3 categories the wish list fell into: improved leader and member learning experience with improved program audio and visuals, nationally known speakers, upgraded translation equipment, and more Connect programs focused on secondary audiences and STEM and STEAM. Outreach to help strengthen educators' understanding of PTA and who we are, offering more scholarships for students and educators, creating grants for local PTAs for family events in their communities, like Family Science Night or Family Game Night, and a statewide resource bank for programming providers, as well as a facelift for our most well-loved program by enhancing Reflections. Texas PTA will reach more communities. Texas PTA offers a number of training materials and programs in Spanish. We will continue to expand our translation capabilities to empower all leaders to fully achieve our mission. Our leaders would like to see us create multilingual resources, invest in languages other than Spanish, communicate with members in their preferred language, partner with community organizations who serve underrepresented populations, and train PTA ambassadors from different communities. They would also like to see diverse, nationally recognized speakers, a translator on staff, programs created on neurodiversity and honoring cultural traditions, plus DEI training facilitated by experts. Texas PTA will incorporate strategic technology initiatives. Texas PTA leaders benefit from technology advancements every day. We are committed to continuously making their jobs easier. We will continue to strategically utilize innovative technologies that streamline the work of leaders. Some wishes for strategic technology initiatives include a new Texas PTA website with a search bar, a Texas PTA app, some database upgrades that would allow for PTAs to download an IRS letter of determination and letter of good standing, texting options for joining and donating to your PTA, free financial software, a joinpta.org upgrade to allow joining more than one PTA per transaction, and MyPTEZ upgrades that would allow for tracking of membership categories. In addition, our leaders would like more turnkey infographics and statewide memberships for online tools such as Canva or Sign Up Genius. As you can see, the wish list from our leaders is extensive. The incoming volunteer board of directors will use your feedback over the coming year to prioritize and make sound investments in these projects. Each is complex to implement and deserves dedicated time and attention to fully evaluate implementation strategies. So now let's turn to the numbers. As you know, Texas PTA currently receives $2.25 per membership. We're going to look at the last 3 years and our current year's projected expenses and income. In 2019-2020, our last year before COVID, when our membership numbers were still on the rise year to year, the cost to provide service to our members was $3.73 per member. That year, we had a membership of 523,303. Now, this year didn't include any launch expenses as the event was virtual in the next fiscal year. Had launch been held, cost per member would have been much more. You can see the breakdown of how the dues are used here. Most of this year was pre-COVID, and we didn't begin to make budget cuts until almost the end of this fiscal year, when it became apparent that COVID was not a temporary disruption. Texas PTA received $3.40 per member during the 1920 fiscal year, which is less than the $3.73 we spent per member. As you can see, the majority of that income was from member dues. Although we seek out and receive non-dues revenue, we still hear, why don't you just get more non-dues revenue? That's a great question. Texas PTA is diligent about continuously looking for these partnerships. Now, COVID also impacted sponsorships as companies looked for ways to cut costs themselves. One big sponsor, Whataburger, moved to Chicago, making sponsoring a Texas-based program, our Reflections program, look less attractive to them. We are always looking for new partnerships and ways to work with businesses to further our programs and events. In 2020-2021, because our membership number went down significantly to 321,258, our cost to serve each member went up to $6.82. This budget year included as many cuts as we could make across the board, including laying off 3 staff members. These numbers also look different because in 1920, we had to move launch virtual and into this fiscal year. These numbers include that virtual launch that was held in October of 2020 and an in-person launch held in July 2021, albeit with about 1,000 less attendees than in a normal year. Although launch typically represents a large chunk of non-dues revenue for Texas PTA, we were able to keep costs down by utilizing free volunteer talent to add value for our attendees. In the same year, 2020-2021, we received $7.47 per member. Why so much? We had income from both of those launch events that we just talked about, as well as we were approved for the Payroll Protection Program and received federal dollars to help pay for staff. Without this loan, our income would have been just $6.71 per member, which is less than that $6.82 per member that we spent. In 2021-2022, our membership remained much below pre-COVID numbers, and our cost to serve each member was $5.38. COVID continued to impact our normal operations as we tried our best to continue to reduce costs without impacting our leaders and members. Our income per member in 21-22 was $5.83, which included a second round of funding from the Payroll Protection Program. Without the payroll protection program, our income per member would have been $5.33 per member, and we would have been close to running a deficit or more expenses than income. As we moved into this current year, 2022-23, we kept our budget cuts in place. We anticipate a membership of 457,000 members, which would put our cost to provide service to our members at $5.26 per member. Our 2022-2023 income of $6.01 per member will include funding from the government's pandemic employee retention tax credit program. Now, without this program, our income would be just $5.37 per member, which would have again put us close to a deficit for the year. Now, we are not in a dire situation, but we are at a crossroads. As you can see, we can keep going as we have been and maintain the cuts we have made the last 3 years. But we want to go back to being able to fund our events and programs at pre-COVID levels and then grow and expand in all the ways we talked about in those 5 areas, increasing our investment in leaders, amplifying our legislative voice, broadening our parent engagement and family engagement efforts, reaching more communities, and incorporating strategic technology initiatives. Although there are benefits to paving this road forward immediately, we are proposing to implement this change to the Texas PTA dues on August 1st, 2024, to make this transition smoother for our leaders. Therefore, there will be no change to the Texas PTA budget until the year 2024-2025. Okay, whew, that was a lot of numbers, y'all. So to put this into perspective, have you bought groceries lately? These prices are comparing grocery prices in 2009 and 2023. You know, the jokes like, I don't usually brag about our expensive trips, but Brad just got back from the grocery store. Here are some examples of the inflation we are experiencing. Can you believe what he paid for some of this stuff? Y'all, eggs have gone up 203%. In addition to groceries, gas and cars have gone up too. The value of $1,000 has gone up. Texas PTA is asking for a 66% increase to help us cover inflationary costs and position us well for the future. We talked earlier about non-dues revenue. Non-dues revenue is never guaranteed. What we do have, and what is a constant, are our memberships. If we want to do what we do using just current member dues, $2.25 per membership, this is how many members we would need to break even. Now, add non-dues revenue on top of that and imagine what we could do. So we either need to have this many memberships or adjust our dues. In the last 5 years, our highest membership number has been 523,303. Now, while we would love to see over 1 million memberships, realistically, we know in order to keep growing and providing the service we do to our leaders and members, it's time to raise our dues. 2009. That's the last time we changed the dues, and we believe changing them to $3.75 per membership will take us years into the future. Now, we need to take a few minutes to answer those pressing questions you have regarding, elephants in the room. First, hasn't National PTA proposed a dues rate as well? Yes, they have. There's one critical difference between National's proposed dues rate and ours. Their change in dues, if passed in June, will be implemented on August 1st, 2023. The result will create $2 amounts collected for dues depending on when your members join. Those who join in August and September would pay one amount, and those who join from October until May would pay a different amount. Texas PTA's dues increase will be voted on in July of 2023 and wouldn't take effect until August 1st, 2024, giving everyone an entire year to make any necessary adjustments and not impacting anything in the middle of a school year. Another frequently asked question is why a change of $1.50 to $3.75? And how do other states compare to Texas? As we discussed earlier, Texas PTA has been diligent about seeking non-dues revenue and is fiscally responsible. Now, each state is unique, and in Texas, it is important to the association that our members continue to receive a continuous increase in value. Unlike many local PTAs, nearly 40% of Texas PTA's income is member dues. We are dependent upon them. So we calculated that it will cost us $5.26 to serve each member. While some other states charge between $5 and $7 per member, our practice is to offset some of those costs with that non-dues revenue. Adding $1.50 per member allows Texas PTA to increase the support and services we provide you without requesting another increase in the near future. This change in dues would make Texas PTA's dues rate comparable to the average costs of a state PTA. Another commonly asked question is, do we need to change our bylaws? The simple answer is no. Why is that so simple? Because Texas PTA's dues amount is not listed as a dollar amount in your bylaws, so no update is required. Now, the extra bit of information is that you can make changes to your bylaws, and that's why we are proposing the change in dues not take effect until August 1st, 2024. We want you to be able to take the time necessary to determine how best to implement the change for your community. Do you need to modify your local dues so that the total is a whole dollar amount? Or do you need to make an adjustment so that the total is in an increment of $5? Maybe you would like to change your local dues so that your PTA members continue to pay the same amount in 2024, 25 as they did in 23, 24. No matter what you decide, we will be here to help you make the changes to your bylaws to fit your community's needs. You can find more details on this particular question in our frequently asked questions on our website. While all of those items and the many we previously shared with you have been accomplished since 2009, the State Board of Directors believes that we have reached a plateau in the level of service that we can reasonably provide to you, our local leaders. When you get down to the brass tacks, we're stuck. We're stuck where we are without the ability to fulfill your dreams of an updated website, nationally renowned speakers, specialized staff members, and taking programming and training to you in the field. We want to make your wishes come true, but our hands are tied. In order to continue to improve upon the production quality of Launch, Texas PTA programming, leadership development tools, state-level advocacy, and increase the amount of local leader support and training, specialized support, volunteer recognition, and membership perks, we are counting on your support to modify the Texas PTA membership dues rate to $3.75. Between now and the annual meeting, here are a couple of tools you might find useful. We have a page on our website that has this information and an FAQ document that we will update as we get feedback. These are great resources to use to discuss the change in dues with others. We also have a feedback form that I told you about earlier. The feedback form is also linked on the webpage, so it's super easy to find. I encourage you to use this form so that we can track all of our questions and comments. Thank you for listening today. This wasn't an easy decision and not one that this board of directors took lightly. I'm asking you to take what you heard today and think about what is best for our association long-term. Texas PTA has been fiscally responsible and is not in a dire situation, but again, we are at a crossroads. At the same time, the cost to provide additional support and training to our volunteers has gone up. The board of directors wants to make the job of our volunteers easier, and operating at a dues amount set in 2009 makes it challenging to be more innovative and relevant to members. Texas PTA wants to be innovative, not stagnant. We ask for your support at the annual meeting in July. As always, we appreciate all you do each and every day to make your communities better. You are the heart of our association. Thank you so much.